Okay, I don't know what happened. It stopped. Plenty of battery power and everything. Anyhow, I got it one night whenever April and I had went to Lake Hope State Park one year for kind of like a late anniversary, and we'd rented a cabin and basically spent I think maybe about 2 nights, 2 or 3 nights, something like that. Now, at the time, I still carried around my fire starting kit stuff, and I think I had the haversack in like the trunk, and picked it up. That way we had some way other than a cigarette lighter to try to make a fire. I think we ended up using a cigarette lighter and a bunch of newspaper. Okay, that spark has went out on that piece of hank that I had, so it's basically it. Like I said, I kind of wish it was still daylight. It's after 9 o'clock. There's nothing really on TV because they got presidential debates on there, and it's one of them free-for-alls. Everybody talks at the same time. You know, politics can get. And got Hattie outside. Madeline, I guess she's not really feeling all that great. And after she ate, she went back in the house. Back in the house, and she's laying in bed, stuff, and it's pretty much about it over here. Oh, we had a little tiny rainstorm out there where I work at. Whenever I got basically into Logan, it had quit raining and everything. I got home and absolutely nothing, no rain whatsoever. So far all afternoon it's kind of been a little overcast, cloudy, and no rain or anything like that. So that's about all I can really think of right at the moment. And be getting ready to head in and grab me a shower and get to bed. I start work tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So I basically work from 10 to 6, which I'm not all that thrilled about it, but I guess once I kind of get in the swing of it, it should be a little bit better. And Saturday and Sundays from 7:30 till, well, Saturdays they're wanting me out there at noon. I don't know why. They just keep telling me it is what it is. Nobody can really tell me what it is. And Sunday I get to stay till 3:30. Sundays is the day that we have to go through and do the hot tub chemical checks, check chlorine, check pH, check, see how the water's cloudy or not, record all that stuff on a piece of paper for records and everything. And I got a few odds and ends out there that I can do to kind of sort of keep me busy. I got a deck that needs to be painted, provided the room that the deck is off of is vacant. And then I got a set of French doors that opens up onto one of the decks for a hot tub that they're wanting repainted. They're metal doors that I had to put a primer on first and then put the regular paint over. But they've had me painting the window frames out there, window frames and door frames, basically kind of giving a lot of the cottages and crofts, which is basically the same thing as cottage, a little bit smaller, kind of give it a facelift a little bit, make it look a little bit more presentable. This morning they had me out there working on some of their lighting and stuff that they got down the roads, and I pretty much got that took care of. There's one light that's an LED style that it's not working, and I told the maintenance supervisor, and he said he'd probably just order one off of Amazon to replace it completely with. So pretty much how things out there has been going, and it's started to warm up out here substantially. It was 32 degrees Celsius, or I think like 92, 93 degrees Fahrenheit over here this afternoon. It was 31 yesterday, which I think was like 91 Fahrenheit. The mornings just today was what was it today? 21 degrees Celsius, which is I think 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's summertime's getting here. It's just taking a while. I mean, granted, I ain't complaining. I kind of enjoy the nice cool mornings and days, but yeah, sooner or later things are going to heat up. And we've had, I think, maybe 4 straight days of sun so far. We had I think Monday and Tuesday, yesterday and today. I think Sunday, I think we got a little bit of sun, but it rained. Saturday, I think it rained a little tiny bit, not a lot, I think. You know, I don't remember. Huh. Oh well. So, yeah, I can't think of any really anything else to tell you about. But yeah, it's pretty much just one day at a time. I've also got some chocolate cake mix in there too. I'm going to try to do one of those pineapple upside down cakes with chocolate instead of using a white or a yellow cake. So this should be relatively interesting. Now, I've did a chocolate upside down cake using cherries one year for, I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, and of course, so too, that kind of struck up an argument with Dad, and Dad said, well, you don't use chocolate cake to make a cherry upside down cake. You're supposed to use white or yellow. Okay, I can't find anything anywhere that's written that says specifically you have to use this type of cake to make this type of cake. So I've even got spice cake in there that I got one year. I was going to try a recipe that I got off of YouTube. I can't even remember now what it was, or what if I even saved the recipe or not. But now there's also recipes over here too where you substitute the water with like soda pop, like Orange Crush or Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola, and kind of soda pop like that to make a different kind of cake. You can even use Hawaiian Punch juice instead of water and make a Hawaiian Punch cake. And I've had them. They're really super moist. You really can't quite taste the mix, you know, like the Dr. Pepper or the Hawaiian Punch. You really can't, or I couldn't taste it. But I guess there's people that can, just like potato bread. There's people say, yeah, we can taste the potato in it, but I don't think that there's really any potato, or if there is, there's not much in potato bread. Now, there is a thing called potato candy, and it basically has 3 ingredients. You take one small or medium-sized potato, boil it until it gets soft, skin it, dry it off real good, and put it in a bowl and mash it up. You don't add anything to it except for maybe a teaspoon of vanilla. Then what you do is you start slowly adding powdered sugar. The whole time you're adding it, you're mixing it. Now, whenever you first add powdered sugar to it, everything turns to liquid, and I don't know why that is. So you keep adding powdered sugar to it until it turns into a dough. And what you do is you roll that dough out on a piece of wax paper. and you use powdered sugar instead of using like flour like you do with regular dough. You use powdered sugar on this. Roll it out. Then you take peanut butter and you spread peanut butter out over that rolled out dough. Then very carefully you roll it up, just kind of like you're rolling a burrito. And once you've got it rolled into a tube, you take a knife, cut it into slices, kind of about like the way you would be slicing the bread, roughly about the thickness of a piece of bread. You lay that out, leave it dry. Basically leave it air dry. Put it on a plate, air dry it. What it tastes like, I don't know if you have ever had them, but people that I've made it for, they said it tastes just like a buckeye. What a buckeye is, powdered sugar and peanut butter mixed, rolled into a ball, and then dipped into chocolate, except for a little tiny section of it. A little tiny section of it. Now to dip it, you stick a toothpick in it, dip it in your chocolate, then put it on wax paper and leave the chocolate set back up or reharden. And that's basically what a buckeye is. Now over here in Ohio, I think our national tree is the buckeye tree, and they get pretty much the same thing on it. It's a type of nut, and it's actually poisonous. Indians over here, they used to gather buckeyes up and they would crack them open, get the nut out of them, throw them in the rivers for the fish. The fish would come along and they would eat a piece of it, and it would stun them. And they would basically float to the top, and then the Indians would go down into the stream and gather the fish, or go downstream and catch them as they're floating by. Now, they also say too that you can boil it. It's either that, I think it might be thinking about acorns. Acorns is poisonous over here too. They say they're real bitter tasting, and it's an oil that is in them that's what is the poison part of it. The Indians used to take acorns and they would crack them open, throw them in a pot, they would boil them, drain the water off of them, fill up a pot full of water again, throw the acorns back in them, bring them to another boil, dump that water off. They would do that 3 or 4 times. Basically what that did was it's supposed to leach that oil out of them through boiling. Then what they would do is they would dry the acorns in the sun, grind them up into like a powder, and they would use that basically as flour, and they would make what they called acorn bread. And they say it's pretty good. I've never had it myself or anything, but someday I wouldn't mind to try some of it, as long as I know that it's fixed properly, because I don't want to end up jinxing myself and eating something that's not properly prepared and end up sick and dying. So it's pretty much a Shinola on all that. So I'll try to get these posted. Unfortunately, there are 2 videos. I don't know why I'm telling you this at the end of this second video, but well, you know, I can't help it. So I will talk to you later. Bye.